Healthcare providers, including physicians and specialists, often face challenges and a lot of delays in getting paid for the work that they're doing. Karim, at Klaim.ai, you're taking a run at solving that problem. How are you doing it?
The first part is standard claim processing. And I think this is an area where there is a lot that can be done with AI. Checking the quality of the claim before submission to avoid the back and forth with the insurance company, semi-automating some of the data entry. But I think the most important part is really bringing an element of a balance sheet and funding through that platform so that you have an all-in-one box for healthcare money, basically.
Getting a balance sheet of your own as a startup has got to be challenging. What are some of the avenues you're exploring to be able to do that?
The first one is us raising the money under a separate vehicle. That's one option. A second one would be to actually just do the processing part, like deal sourcing, processing, risk assessment, servicing of those receivables purchased through the technology, and that we can scale so people can just plug their balance sheet while leveraging the technology. I think this is what we're going to do once we hit the $50, $75 million mark, to be able to scale faster. And then the third, which is very interesting, is giving the ability to you and me invest a small amount of money into something that is high quality, high yield assets.
So actually crowdsourcing the funding for the loans. How much faster can you make payments to healthcare providers from what they're experiencing today?
We can transfer the money immediately. So we've automated the process for now of doing the assessment, generating the legal documentation, and sending this documentation electronically for signature. We are working right now on the ability for the providers to select the claims they want to upload automatically from the platform.
Well, I think one of the things you talk about is how the incentives are all wrong for those insurance companies to actually make these payments, right? So I think you're creating a platform for healthcare providers to get treated a lot more fairly.
Absolutely. I think this is normally the role of a regulator. In areas, in emerging markets where the regulator hasn't stepped in, it is very easy for insurance companies to sort of push heavily. I think we are trying to balance it out, as a matter of fact.
So Karim, where does machine intelligence, artificial intelligence, enter the equation for the platform?
The moment you have access to data and digital data, then you can do pretty much a lot of things with machine learning or AI or deep learning. So data is available, provided that the hospitals and clinics give you access to it. So that's what we do through our platform. We collect that historical data, we assess it automatically, and assess the risk of taking exposure on SMEs that bank would not touch otherwise.
So the artificial intelligence is using data that's coming in from the healthcare providers initially to build an anticipated size of receivable facility that's needed, and then predicting what the outcomes are going to be against that?
Yeah, absolutely. Now we are going one step ahead in the sense that typically to a fraud system, we want to know that these claims are actually valid before we can take even exposure on them. For now, we are assessing, what is the payer-provider relationship, the payment behaviors of the providers and the payers, look at anomalies across one provider or multiple providers with that particular payer, and then slowly starting to dig down into the claim level, the clinician level, the specialty, and so on and so forth.
So from here, where are the expansion markets for Klaim.ai?
We are incorporating in Saudi. The good thing is that the technology that we built is compatible with the Saudi system. But perhaps the most exciting opportunity is the US. So we have constituted the US market entry group. We've been doing some research into where we can get the data from. Is it easy to get access to the data? And is there a real problem with the delays on insurance payments? So we are trying to address these questions to see definitively if this is a market that we could address.
And so why did the KPMG Private Enterprise Global Tech Innovator competition make sense for Klaim.ai to take a run at?
KPMG is a well-known global brand. Being able to be associated with KPMG globally on such an event is definitely giving us great exposure. It helps us amplify and echo our voice in terms of what we are trying to accomplish. It also helps us in terms of credibility with these providers, because imagine some startup is coming to them and saying, I'm going to buy the receivables and I'm going to pay you. This is so good to be true. So sometimes they don't really believe it.
Right.
So that also helps us in terms of building credibility.